Hello, everybody. Thank you, everybody else, for coming in via Zoom, and everybody who came into the classroom. Very excited to finish off this 10 weeks with these presentations. It's been very fun hanging out with everybody. I made a kind of smart device that controls different other smart devices called Akira. I'll go over what that means in a second. About me first, my name is Adam Lazar. I'm 25 years old. I work in sales and most recently as an avionics technician. I really began my educational journey after doing sales, realizing that that's not really for me. I was always a math guy. I always liked making stuff. So started going back to school at C&M for mechanical engineering. Also joined the STEM core cohort and did the little mini boot camp that we did for 4 days. Fell in love instantly with what's going on here and knew I had to do this. So got in there and have had the best 10 weeks I can honestly think of. It really lined up with my love for research development, prototyping. I like having an idea and then somehow making it. I just didn't have the tools before to make it. I didn't know how to start making stuff. So this has definitely taught me, made me more confident in my ability to kind of create the things that I think about. And I'm also a huge golfer and F1 fan that has kind of leaked into my other creations and ideas. The inspiration for this, I also had a really hard time coming up with the capstone. It was a huge kind of worry for myself, but I ended up kind of coming up using the inspirations of like a theremin. I've always thought that technology is really cool, and also cool people like Mr. Tony Stark here and Tom Cruise. You know, who doesn't want to be like Tom Cruise? And I also wanted to be able to help people though, so that's kind of like the main kind of inspirations there. Yeah. So here's Akira, the aerial keypad interface for responsive accessibility. I came up with the name first and then made the words fit, so that's why it's kind of yeah. But yeah, that's a smart device there. The parts, of course, the particle photon 2, that's the brain. The code goes to there, sends all the directions to everything else. A couple time of flight sensors that sense the distance from the cells just using the laser, shoots it up, times the distance back down. Adafruit pixels to kind of display which thresholds you're in and also some other stuff. The BME to grab the current temperature in the room, and the OLED and touch sensors to display information that you're doing, as well as ability to change modes physically. This is 3D modeling here. I created this. This is the second iteration. I made the first one a little too small, wasn't able to fit all the wires. That's the bamboo printer. Thing's a machine. It's been running for like 2 weeks straight, I feel like, with all our projects. So absolutely killed it. During the build, that was my first kind of mock-up drawing, kind of some breadboard and cardboard design. Then I finally got it printed and kind of somewhat wired, and yeah, I had some fun kind of jamming it all together. Now, as far as how it works, there's the 3 time of flight sensors kind of spread out. Each one of them has a threshold. The red is the closest, white is the middle, and green is the furthest. And I kind of made it almost like an aerial keypad. That's why, the first 2 of the acronym. It's very rudimentary. So up is up, down is down, left and right. I saved the upper corners to be able to cycle through the modes. So depending on what mode you're in, all these kind of do different things. Like in the music mode, pause and plays in the center. Up is increased volume, decreased volume. Left and right are previous and next tracks. In the light mode, I control the smart hue lights. You can turn on the light, turn off the light, increase and decrease the brightness, and cycle through the colors. There's also a temperature mode that I have in there. You can increase and decrease the desired temperature, and it'll show you the current temperature in the room. Here's a little demonstration. I believe this is the music. So it starts playing the music. I want it louder, so I increase the volume. Taylor Swift, doesn't love Taylor Swift. Want to go back a song, playing the next song or the previous song, turn it down a little bit. Then I want to stop the music, pause it. The light mode, so I cycle through with the touchpad, turn on the light with my hand, cycle through the colors to a desired color. I like green, so I turn it up a little. Slowly getting brighter there. And then shut off the light once I'm done. This is the OLED kind of displaying the different things that you'll see in different modes to allow you to know what you're changing. So whether the light's on or off, the temperature increasing or decreasing, and then the music kind of controls as well. So that'll always be displaying what you're doing, what mode you're in. So my applications were first very kind of narrow-minded. I just thought it as like a desk kind of tool that I can have, kind of control stuff around my room, around the home, and kind of slowly realize the amazing opportunity I have to kind of help people with accessibility issues that can't really control certain devices, can't get a hold of things, can't use certain things. And it kind of very much opened up the applications in my mind and kind of what I desire to be in the future. Yeah, I saw it. Multiple people kind of came up to me and like asked me if I realized how, useful this can be. And it kind of really stuck into my mind. So it ended up being that kind of very helpful thing that I desired to make. Just kind of found out about it a little after it. Some challenges. A lot of these components I never worked with before. They were similar to components I worked with in the past, but kind of with different ways of gathering the information and utilizing it. So kind of figuring out how they kind of interact with each other, how the code works was definitely a little bit of a challenge. Also kind of waiting for the shipping times. We ordered stuff around Black Friday. So a lot of waiting around for UPS to update and stuff. Yeah, once we got them in, got it working, it's definitely increased my confidence, the ability to kind of just get a random sensor, read some instructions and be able to kind of code and gather some information from them. And then the closing of the actual thing was very scary to me. We're using breadboards, wires kind of stick to it, but not, they pop out constantly. So really making sure that when I closed it, nothing was gonna pop out randomly. Hot glue was my friend. I just kind of layers of it, making sure that it was all closed up and good to go. The code, this is kind of the main code that allowed for the sensors to interact with each other and let the rest of the code know where the hand is. So it kind of starts off, there's the first sensor, second sensor, third sensor. If these two don't get any readings and this one does, it then goes into the different thresholds. I did just max 1, max 2, and max 3. I would like in the future for the person to have like an application to be able to put in their desired thresholds, and kind of that way they can make it very customizable. So I kind of did those general variables there. And then once it knows where the hand is, it sends that hand position to the other mode functions and allows those mode functions to then do what they're supposed to do in those thresholds. This is a dashboard, online dashboard. You can pretty much do everything that the Akira can do with your hands, but via the dashboard. So you can cycle through the colors, the temperature, music, things like that. Just allows you the manual mode of the functions. What the future holds, I would like to include like swiping. That's is very cool. It's a cool thing to do. Then very Iron Man-y, and we didn't have the time this go around to kind of implement that. The connection to the online dashboard app, like I said, I would like to, like John said, kind of make my own. That's very customizable. Allows you to really change the colors, what they mean, just make it your own. Field test the actual Akira, especially with the accessibility thing. I have a friend who works as a physical therapist with people with disabilities, so maybe ask her to let people use that and see what they kind of feel about it and what they come up with, different applications there. And then a redesign of the body. It looks cool, but it could look cooler, it can always look cooler. And yeah, thank you. Huge shout out to Brian and EJ. I came in here knowing 0, and now I know a little more than 0.